Ban. There we go. I can no longer ban them from OBS. I have to ban them from the Twitch side, from like my actual Twitch chat on my PC.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please have mercy!
Punch him!
You've made your bed. We may all be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of King Deshret will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
Dumbasses.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
No.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about King Deshret's resurrection.
We don't... Well, I mean, we do care about that, but...
Mystery Man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that Mystery Man's doing.
I don't understand why, but when people are in this situation, when scumbags are in this situation, I can't help but laugh at how pathetic they are.
Facilitate the resurrection process. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
What the fuck do you think?
You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Stop being stupid. Choose life.
Truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way.
Then describe what he looks like, you utter imbecile.
That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face.
Okay,
He calls
fair.
himself King Deshret's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Ow.
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
Imagine the fear in their lives seeing that man walk towards them.
Academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Fantastic.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Time to be a thorn in authority's side.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone...
Time to go on a rescue mission and kick some ass. Also, apparently that gold violinist dude is apparently a repeat dodger of banning.
Whoa!
I would be terrified too, to be honest.
Come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Poor Paimon.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. Makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
I still don't
To be
trust Al
honest,
Hatham.
We aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
But are you going to share it?
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
I mean, that's not surprising.
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether King Deshret or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived.
The nervous one.
The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
I get that feeling.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I noticed a lot of that.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. even though they act a little strange.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
She would make herself a target to the radicals. Keep up, Paimon!
Getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it.
How very self-aware. I'm going to approach her with a woman that has very little social interactions. And is incredibly intimidating. Where is this bitch? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Just don't attack us and we won't attack you.
What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better?
Oh, good. I don't actually have to make a choice.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing...
A horrible decision, really.
To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
Are you sure, Paimon? You asked why.
Only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
I don't believe you.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Racism.
Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace.
That is fair.
And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
It's fair.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts!
Paimon immediately jumps to ghosts.
I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But Because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go.
Onward to the hospital! I am in desperate need of surgery! Wait, where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, that's far. Is it? That's not a domain, is it? I need to hook an immediate left. A Sealy! Hello, Sealy. Which way are you going? You're going the same way I'm going. Okay. Okay, that was ambiance. That's... I always love the viewpoint points. Those are very pretty to me. Oh yeah, you're desert people. Good.
Sounds good to me. Overruled.
I need your headbands to upgrade Dia.
Something.
Oh, is this the place? Oh, it's in terrible. Monsters, watch out!
Okay. I'm so glad I pulled for Arley! Enemy reinforcements have arrived!
Transfixed. Everlasting as the moon. Overruled.
And you're dead.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that.
I would argue that Paimon, you're being stupid, but then again, I've seen what we've had to deal with, and no, you're right.
He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
There's a dude I missed.
This is the one.
I wish I could do that instead of just actively attacking it.
Let's go in and take a look.
Alright. Okay. Okay.
Hey, I'll hate them. We haven't found squad.
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read?
You're surprised?
What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
He's tuning you out, Paimon.
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion.
It's physics!
Contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
At least he was nice enough to try.
How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Is Alhaitham autistic? I can see that.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
Like, a lot of his behavior would track if he actually was neurodivergent in some way, shape, or form.
Paimon's getting so sleepy.
Why didn't you sleep? I hear crying.
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
I could definitely see
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not
Alhaitham being some form of neurodiver. That is so very obviously not in a proper place. We should have attacked it.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
That was so blatantly obvious it hurts.
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Do I finally regain control? I finally regained control. I'm back outside. Seriously though, why didn't we check this in the first place? Okay, so I can't go that way. Well then. Investigate the elemental monuments out around the hospital. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that as soon as I find them. Hang on, I need to kill some people. The tree got in my way. That's poor placement. Well, no, it's not.
Transfixed. This is where you fall.
I'll give. Give to me your headbands. I need them for my characters. My cabbages! That's a Dendro, which I don't have a Dendro character active anymore. Come here, you little fucks.
Overruled.
Okay, so I need to switch out Zilla for a Dendro character. Give me a minute. I got an itch on my leg. I have the perfect Dendro character in mind.
Trainee Forest Ranger, call it.
I like using the bow people for these kind of things because unfortunately, the Catalyst ones, I need to do a charge attack for them and it just doesn't work. Following orders. I'm dead. I'm just following orders. Were your orders to die? I think your orders were to die. You are dead. Oh, hey, there's one right there. Wait. Oh, hello. Oh, hey, I got the Dendro thing that I was looking for. Can I hit this? Or do I need to? No, I don't. Okay. There we go. I fell a ways. Hello. Aha, freedom. Where am I? Where am I? Scarab! Well, looks like somebody's about to die.
Everlasting as the moon.
Ouch. You're very rude, you know that? Ouch. I have my ult again! Oh my goodness, I love Arlay. Arlay's fun.
Than the unexpected.
Like, she's a bit of a challenge, but she is fun. I did not know that that was a creature. I got free food out of that! Oh, no. Oh, wait. Okay, you're dead. Go ahead and do this. Bye. Bye. Wait, who'd I miss? Where's the one that I missed? Arrow pointing this way. Where is this idiot?
Transfixed.
Oh, it's a scorpion. Haha, combat's now done. Wakey wakey. I'm gonna pretend I understand that. Something about somebody crying. Where the fuck am I? Are you dead?
Something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Okay, it doesn't look like there's any further need to go through here. So this is out of the way. Then we go back, and then we go down. I'm having an ADHD moment. Bear with me. I can't fall, apparently. Hi, guys. Bye, guys. They did not live long. None of them live long.
Which to commemorate this occasion.
I am actually really glad I pulled Arley. Although it looks like I have a slight window in order to properly pull off the cooldown quickness. Thank you.
Something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Okay, well that's all done. So that's this area done. That's not what I wanted. Oh, there's a warp point down here. Oh, I didn't notice it because I didn't go this way yet. Hope you're all dead. Okay, it's above me is where it is. Holy crap, there's a lot. I found a secret way in. Is Alhaitham going to appear and give me a scolding? Why is it showing me the pickaxe? Okay, let me climb up here. Get the warp point. Float! Regain stamina and float! Oh, wow. That is not getting me any higher. Oh, wait. Nope. I found it. I found it! There we go. We got it. We're good. Okay. And now I make my way back over there. What is... Oh, there's a... There's a Dendro one! Okay. That's cool. I figured there was one for everyone. Also, I noticed when I was farming Oceanid that Oceanid has the same body as the Thunderbat. So they're basically the same species. Or creation. Oh no. Wait, you guys need to die. That's the wrong character. Why do they turn into sand when they die, though? That's a really cool death animation thing, but still, like, why do they do that? I feel like that's a poor way to disappear. Haha, I'm back. Haha, I'm back. There is no living, only death. Okay, I've done all of them. I'm gonna switch back to Zillow.
Yeah, let's...
Because she's another one of my characters that I've been working on upgrading anyway, so... More survivability. Eee, fell. Okay, I've opened everything. What am I looking for? Patient Abbas, 23 male. Mole on left side of forehead, left-handed. While his condition remains very serious, survival will be difficult without professional medical care. The patient's survivability once found and immediately inform. Don't give up, stay positive. The rest of the document is rendered unreadable. Okay. Depressing, got it. Okay, so these are all old lore building stuff. About how everyone's dying from Elazar. Oh, it's Elazar, that's right.
Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach.
Is that Grandpa?
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused.
No, it's not.
Why is he the only one?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
Oh, lovely.
Scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem.
Oh, boy.
Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late.
Or that we're in the
Looks
wrong
like they've
spot.
already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him.
That...
There are drag marks on the ground.
Please tell me that's
They're
not blood.
clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught.
Oh.
The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! Now that you mention it, they're acting the...
Correct. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These
So political
rumors were all the
sabotage,
persuasion that the
human
radicals
experimentation,
needed, and those based in Aru village leapt
human
into action.
trafficking,
Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks, life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread.
Yeah, but it's...
Many would give
That happened
everything they
because the
have for
freaking
prospect
academia
of
scholars are
something better.
dickbags.
Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
That makes terrifying sense.
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them.
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
Paimon, where did you think it came
Technology
from?
Sumeru Academia. It's entirely possible. Perhaps the process.
All
comes from
knowledge
great
comes
suffering,
from
which is
people's
why they cry out
minds.
in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
Okay, what crime is this? This technically falls under human experimentation, but organ harvesting? It's probably close to organ harvesting.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their project. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
That one seems like the logical choice.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use any...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to.
Makes sense.
However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Agreed.
Sounds like you're really against...
Of course. The Academia's actions are contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in
Yeah,
the
but they've
world
reached
will
a
be
point in power where they
This
no longer
matter
care
needs to
about
be
the rules
corrected.
they've set for everybody
Just like
else.
fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for them?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon...
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out.
Good. Revel in it.
This is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we return.
So a lot of it makes sense in my mind so far, and I don't really have any questions. I'm trying to think of questions at the moment. Of like what? Well, first question actually is why is there a basement under the freaking hospital? Unless they ran out of room for Elazar treatments, which would make sense. Ugh, I'm trying to wake up.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the academia's site for extracting divine cant
I'm gonna trim my
knowledge.
claws. They're starting to
Yep, pretty much.
fray a bit.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now.
Fair.
Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
That might be our fault.
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
I think I get where
It's simply a
Alhatham's coming
logical
from.
inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole.
I don't think so.
Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhatham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you?
That's fair.
If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra. His
Why would they
activities
leave
throughout
that out
day,
in the open?
preferred methods of enacting judgment. Everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation.
Oh no.
The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that their suspicions were well-founded.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side.
That's what I was thinking.
Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
Sino, you know what you must do. Streak naked through the entirety of academia. They will not expect it. It will throw everything they know about you out the window. And it will absolutely throw off the computational system.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Reverse computationalize
Whoa, you
them.
bounce back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too?
No, don't agree to this.
So, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be...
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Is nobody going to talk about how Dia just left the building?
Paimon feels like we're missing...
Is nobody going to talk about how Dia just left the building? Without a word. She's wearing heels. Those things are not quiet. Does every female character wear heels? Heels. Heels. Boots. Okay, Kachina's got some sense. Heels. Heels. Technically heels. Heels. Those are sensible heel boots. Why are you... Oh no, they're technically not heels. Those are sensible boots. Technically heels. Your shoes are anything but sensible. Heels. That's a sensible boot. Heel. Well, platform, not really heel, but like, I want to say the word is flats. Okay, yours makes sense for your realm. Heels, heels, definitely heels. You are a cat. I moved the camera at the very wrong time. Definite heels. Yeah, every female wears heels. Well, not every female, but most females wear heels. Where am I going? Where am I going? That way. There's a thing there I want. The fact that she can skate sideways on a freaking mountain just means she has magnets in her freaking skates.
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand. Is that because you play here a lot? Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
Sino, why are you slightly faster than me? I hate that. Why are characters... Why... adjust the speed properly, game.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
You fly.
Okay. So, we have to dig it out?
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
I feel like Dia knows... Fuck's sake. Give me a minute.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
I need to go back on
This
Twitch.
is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand?
Why am
That
I
can't
getting...
have been part of the plan.
Why am I
It must
getting
have
so
been
many
attacked along
bots?
the way.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
What'd they say about somebody dying
Zach
on the
didn't
way?
display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone.
I feel like Dia knew where they were and just headed out immediately.
So tiring.
Paimon, you float!
But you're flying. aren't
Thank you.
Paimon?
Thank you, Isak.
Is flying over sand tiring too? Ugh, of course it is.
Thank you, Isak, for pointing out the stupidity that Paimon has.
Voices over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's...
Tia? Why would you... Tia!
Isak, you were an This is why we don't bring children!
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great general... Yeah, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and methods, and my ideals.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land...
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady.
Okay, so I think she is on her side because she corrected herself.
Even if the
To try
chance of
and...
success is one
I think she's trying to solve things peacefully and it's not working out.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has found what these scholars in our custody will stomp the academia.
Except they're the ones that lied to you, you stupid idiot.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are if you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me.
You're a pawn of the Academia, you stupid idiot!
Anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevada have to say. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King Deshret. We desert dwellers will never...
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
Then why won't you listen to her? I'm sorry, no. Why won't you? And no, you do not trust her. You're just an asshole.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman. Don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
You're just an idiot.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
No. Fuck you.
Don't listen to him. He's not even trying to negotiate. He just wants to make things more difficult.
Paimon's right.
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it! Stop!
No.
What's wrong? Can't do it?
No. No. Just no. I find it very hard to believe that none of them would have jumped on and just kicked his ass.
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces?
Then what the fuck was the point of that? What the genuine fuck was the point of that?
You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
You call them a hypocrite. You call the academia people a hypocrite, but you yourself are a fucking hypocrite. You literally just said, "Oh, I trust the Flame Man. Yeah, I'll trust you. I'll take your word for it. We've known each other for years." She's offering her right arm, which apparently is a big deal, and you're just like, I don't trust you. I'm going to make you cut off your right arm first. Fuck you. I hope we kill you. I genuinely want you dead. Lives for a lot of people would be so much easier with you not in it.
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
I want to punch you in the face.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
No, it would not.
As you wish.
Okay, in absolute genuine honesty, Dia, you and a few other desert dwellers wiping out the radicals wouldn't cause an issue, especially if you weren't followers of the Dendroarchon. Like, quite literally, you guys are technically the neutral party, and you're not technically siding with the academia. You're literally stopping human trafficking.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened. I should have trusted you.
Kid, you shouldn't have come with us at all.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Why is it always at the end of the stream I get irritated?
You just might be scholar material.
Shut up, Al-Haytham.
Huh? Are you...
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
I mean, you're right, but shut up.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run.
Leave the child behind. Do not take a child to something like this. It was stupid to bring him along in the first place. I want 6. I think I want 6. Stop. This is the one I want. Stop taking me to the stupid fucking merchant. I don't give two shits about some random ass, dumbass merchant. Why? Why are you forcing me to go to the merchant when I don't give two flying fucks about the damn merchant? He can die in a fire for all I care.
You're all here so early.
We are not taking the child.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come?
No! No! I refuse. If I were the traveler right now, I would be looking at that kid saying, I'm sorry, kid, you're not coming with us. Stay the fuck here.
I'll watch from a safe distance.
No.
Dia, I want to to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Get over whatever attachment you have to this person. I understand you care about them deeply. I do understand the feeling of sitting around and doing nothing and waiting on something that you have absolutely no fucking control over. I get that. You are a child who literally cannot control his emotions, and you literally almost cost Dia an arm. You are staying here.
Okay, let's go then.
Everybody's an idiot.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood? Or I'll be very upset with you.
Listen to your girlfriend. And leave the child here.
Fine.
Everyone's a fucking idiot and I hate them. Jesus! This is the agreed upon location? It's so far away! We're taking a kid with us? I do like how the sand keeps up with the footprints. I do like that, especially with the skates. But no, I genuinely currently hate everybody involved right now because everybody's a fucking idiot. Like, I'm genuinely sorry. These are all great characters, and I have loved almost every single one of them for the most part, especially in this storyline. Who thinks it's a bright fucking idea to bring an actual child to a hostage negotiation? This is a hostage negotiation. Never mind. I hate the sky right now. I do not like the sky right now. I hate the sky right now. It's scary. Like, I don't understand. Where's the actual, like, no self-respecting human being, whether in modern times or past times, would literally be okay with bringing a child to this? This is not an anime.
Bring it.
Haha, we're coming up from behind you. We're gonna stab you. There's only one dude.
They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
There's only one dude.
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Well, that's Grandpa, probably.
Grandpa!
Child, I will bury you in the sand.
Why is there only one of them?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
He's literally actively admitted he doesn't trust you by having you cut off your arm.
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise.
Oh my goodness, you're sacrificing so much.
Asked enough?
You're sacrificing so much. You're sacrificing your ego and your pride and your principles. You know, the same principles that say it's okay to traffic human beings and sacrifice them to a dead god because of a rumor you heard. A literal rumor that you've heard. Yeah, you're sacrificing so much.
You stay right there.
Are we fighting? You thought this was a great idea, dumbass. Way to go.
What do you think you're doing?
see this blade here? You coward. Why are your hands shaking? Wait a second. It's a earthquake!
You... Oh. Oh, no! Paimon trying to pull us out is hilarious, actually. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of funny.
Paimon's dizzy.
Oh, good, Alhaitham's still with us. Where did we fall?
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The dendro archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no. He's getting confused again.
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
I don't like that energy.
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization.
Once again, I do want to point on touch on something. A sign of
left it in the state we see now.
a prelude to the collapse of King Deshret's civilization. Once again, the collapse of King Deshret's civilization was a bunch of insane people appearing.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret.
Can we kill this man?
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape, except for him.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord...
I want to kill this man.
There, is he?
I want to point out that this is not because of religious beliefs or anything like that. He's allowed to believe in King Deshret and stuff like that. This man is a literal human trafficker. I want him dead.
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
I mean, I'm curious as well. I kind of want to go in.
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of King Deshret's civilization appear. Two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say.
He shares my belief.
New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
He's similar to me in terms of wanting to know more, just calmer.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
If I were his men right now, I would be looking at them and being like, please kill him, please. I'm tired of this man. He's leaving me behind for our god. Then again, I'm not much of a believer. Ew. Yes. Yes. But no, in genuine, like, honesty, seriously, I'm just so tired of dealing with Raman. Dia, please, just chop his head off.
It's full of
Wait.
life here.
His men are with us. Kill him now!
This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Is King Deshret and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata the same fucking person? And everybody just got it wrong?
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Rahman.
Huh? Me?
Dumbass.
Do you see another Rahman here?
I agree.
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
Interpret it however you want, but there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King Deshret's civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
It would make sense if Deshret and Rukkhadevata are the same person, because didn't Zhongli take a bunch of different forms? What am I doing here? Oh no, it's a puzzle. Ugh. I hate puzzles. Okay, so what? I've got 3 things here, and I've got to rotate them in a proper order. Which, if I had to hazard a guess, the hint would be somewhere over here. No, the hint is not over here. Oh, lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. Run! No, wait. Okay. I lost so much stamina trying to get up here, and that's stupid. Right. Because I'm willing to bet... Oh, right, I'm in a dungeon. I can't climb. Fuck. Oh, wait, there's a thing here. Look up at the hall as a mortal and listen to King Deshret's holy guidance. Where the fuck was that written? Okay. I'm just gonna brute force it. Wait. Is there anything here? Eh, fuck it, I'm brute forcing it. I'm usually good at that. Okay, so you're correct. You're correct. But rotating you will rotate something else. Nope. I'm just that smart. Might go a little longer than normal, to be honest. Because I cut it short last time. Just enough to kind of make up for it. I don't like that I can't climb in a dungeon. Alright. Oh, hey! Things to kill!
Overruled, everlasting as the moon, transfixed.
Goodies. I like goodies. Can I break this wall? I cannot. Oh. 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 Huh? Oh. Aha! Okay. Buy wall. Apples and carrots. Hmm. Murder the Dendro Archon's minions. It's still what King Deshret would want. Okay. What if I did this first? I need the elevator back down here, please. Thank you. I'm so curious about whether or not I'm right.
This is where you fall.
And now you're dead. Okay. So what? Do I activate the elevator? What do I... Ah. Infiltrating the temple. I finally discovered the priest's parlor tricks. Ah. It's one of those tricks. I don't know if that's a parlor trick. Oh. I don't know if I like this area. Ow, rude. You're allowed to interrupt me. I am the one who interrupts. Ouch. Oh no, another one. So, what do I do? Okay, so... Oh. Oh. Okay, so if I turn you off... Wait. I turned... Oh, okay, I got it. Wait. Fuck. Almost had it. Give me a second, I gotta wait. Haha! Wait, did I want to do this?
Now that's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
Shut up.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure
Oh.
are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
Dendro Archon makes plant life. Are you stupid? Never mind, you're a religious zealot. Technically speaking, yes, you are. Nothing wrong. Isn't this the tree I'm supposed to help?
It's getting brighter. Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Isn't this Irminsul? No, Irminsul was bigger and had a giant gap in it.
Wait, what's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental entered the scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There
There's...
seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Also, your eye seems to work underneath your eye patch there, buddy.
civilization is born of knowledge.
Ooh.
But so too can knowledge be its demise.
I like the
Disaster
artistry.
caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world.
Oh.
King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world.
Oh.
And it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies.
Elazar.
The land was stripped of its vigor.
Wither.
Only a desperate, deathly silence remained.
So King Deshret caused
Not
this.
For greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible.
She's so pretty!
She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples.
I see.
But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes...
He's one of Sino's ancestors!
The sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child.
Oh!
How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep.
So Nahida is Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Okay.
Cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
That's so cool!
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Okay, everybody give him time. He'll eventually accept it.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret were never enemies at all.
That's so cool.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon?
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refuse to believe any of the rumors.
This is the other way to get rid of radicals, is to communicate with them. Try to get them to see errors in their ways. Don't try and convince them that their way of thinking is wrong. Try and help them see that maybe human trafficking and human sacrifice isn't the best way to go about things.
King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization. It was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans. Fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
This is what I love. The reason that they blamed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is because of the fact that they were projecting their human insecurities on a deity that, technically speaking, is supposed to be perfect by the definition of what a god is usually. But then again, at the same time, gods technically are never perfect.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Rahman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Aramites and I, what?
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. Thanks. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. But please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side.
If only it were that easy.
And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough. But he seems to have figured things out now.
Redemption. Love it.
Rahman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice long sleep.
Sino's gonna say something.
Sino, we're leaving.
Stop yelling.
That was Sino's ancestor too, which was amazing. At least we can assume it's his ancestor because of the fact that he had the same headdress and stuff that Sino has. So that's a nice little touch. A little nod at possible lore. I loved that entire sequence, to be honest. I really did. Rahman pissed me off, though. He absolutely drew my ire. Unfortunately, I don't have patience for heretical fanatics. I really don't, and it's nothing against the religion. I said heretical fanatics. I apologize extremely deeply. I meant religious fanatics, not heretical. I don't have a religion. But I have such, I don't want to say a deep-seated hatred. I have very little patience for religious fanatics. I do not mind talking about religion in any way, shape, or form, to be honest. In fact, I actually find religion very fascinating. I love learning about, like, how the religion formed, like, what are the stories of the religion, who did what, all the really cool shit, like, who are the heroes, who are the villains, why are they the heroes, why are they the villains? Like, learning all of that is such a fun experience for me. And that's why I say it's very hard for me to hate religion. Because there's some, like, I don't want to say it's entertainment, but, like, I can draw some inspiration from it with my own life, and I can be like, this is fascinating, or this is stupid, or this is boring. But overall, it just feels good to learn, and I genuinely enjoy it. It's when it gets fanatical that it gets problematic.
Rahman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is, Thanks for agreeing to help.
Ah, don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
What does he mean by perpetrators? Oh.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
Bye.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you.
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no. Make it quick, please. Swift and painless.
They accept death so quickly.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turn pale like they've seen a ghost.
They accept their death.
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves.
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
What story? Well, never mind. Never mind. They might have access to the information they have on him.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why? What are they trying to accomplish?
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry.
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project.
His voice sounds
They're
familiar.
creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru.
No, to them.
It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between.
Because they literally limit the knowledge.
The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
She is, they're just stupid.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities.
Which one was it?
The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet.
The Wanderer.
After that, they harvested dreams via the
Balladeer, sorry.
Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output.
Samsara.
With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core.
Isn't that what it already was?
Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then they're not scholars, they're idiots. Being a scholar means you go out and you learn. In the simplest way to put it. All I'm hearing is that there are a bunch of whiny-ass, grown-ass children who are complaining that their parent moved away. Or their parents got a divorce. I mean, I would say that their parent died, but that's actually a serious matter. But still, like, what the fuck? I'm throwing a fit because my muse is gone. Find a new muse. Don't make a new muse. Find a new muse. Wasn't the pursuit of knowledge what usually got you going?
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away.
They don't know any better, so I'm not going to be too mad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis has been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
They forgot about her existence because they chose to forget about her existence. Well, the sages chose.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
Oh, let me murder them. Why do I have murder on the brain tonight? Why on earth do I have murder on the brain tonight?
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The two new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
Can we remove their Akasha?
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey, say something. Stop spacing out.
I'm the silent protagonist.
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something.
Or I can go fetch some.
Oh, Paimon's so coming with you.
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
I'm reading these.
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
Okay, so we talked about
Well,
everything in
next story.
Sumeru.
Felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there will be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
So this sounds like the end of a chapter.
Still, Now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it to continue.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out.
That definitely felt like the end of a chapter. I like how they did that. Who were his 3 magi, though? I'm confused. Please, for the love of all that's holy, get off. It's the damn butterfly. Oh, no, wait, it's a reward thing that I never claimed. Whoops! I mean, no! Sorry, that was loud. Okay, I've got a fate. I'm actually going to start holding on to them. I'm not going to use them. Okay. 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 So, what do I want to do now? Do I want to continue playing? I kind of want to continue playing because I'm kind of hooked on this story. I'm not gonna lie.
What could the children be?
I also kind of was having this stream set up for 15 minutes. Where's the door? 15 minutes. So I kind of want to make sure I get a full 4 hours out of this. At least for editing purposes, but I might want to go longer regardless. Wait until the next day. That's not the button I wanted to press. I wanted to press this button. Whee! Wrong way. Oh, I have to wait the full time. Okay, I have to wait the full time. I do like the story for Sumeru a lot. It genuinely does garner my ire in a lot of situations. Wait a minute. In a lot of situations. But it's been a good story regardless.
Has everyone arrived?
Everyone is already waiting inside.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Please, wait before attending the meeting.
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
What do you think?
Okay.
Don't do anything too reckless. Proceeds to fight a god. Arguably, the most reckless thing any person can do. I'm eager to see what their plan is. I really am. I want to know where this goes so badly. It's fun.
Everyone's here so early. But why isn't anybody coming?
I think Sumeru might be my favorite story so far.
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been?
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I gotta admit, it's bold. Color me impressed.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution. Let's cut the small talk and move.
You're making Paimon nervous.
But sometimes you need small talk. I don't know what the plan is, though. Which is great from a gameplay perspective. Keep the player guessing, but at the same time, pain in the ass.
Finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Catch you all later. Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
She's worried about her future wife. Shut up.
That's what I wanted to hear. Take care. Well, traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, then
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And
Paimon's a little worried.
to be honest, I feel the same. But you're already some of the most capable people I know. Your deeds speak for themselves.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you won't be coming with us, we'll be sure to remember your words.
I'm very glad to hear that.
I had to mute to sneeze, I'm sorry.
I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you arrived. Your safety is the only when you're safe can the plan be successful. So please, you're welcome. Good luck.
Now I wish I knew the plan. Everyone knows about the plan but the player. Which story-wise kind of, well, not story-wise, but like, which gameplay-wise kind of makes sense, but at the same time,
Sounds good. I'll go make some preparations.
Okay.
I'll hit them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, Candace told
Yes, she did. But I think my point, our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. We must go beyond that and fully commit ourselves to it. I hope this is clear to you.
I'm gonna throw myself at a god. In a negative way.
Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to...
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation.
Tough but fair.
We all have our jobs to do, after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while
Speaking of the front lines...
Well, of course. Compared to the mercenaries, I'm merely a feeble scholar.
Liar, you have a six-pack underneath that freaking tight shirt.
But the advantage of not being a mercenary is that I get to stay in a safer place and offer my strategic insight. Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind. Mercenary groups are facing constant danger every single day.
Well, being a scholar is also a high-risk occupation.
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members of the same species, some will exhibit far more potential than others.
I am 100 willing to bet that Alhaitham is autistic.
Paimon still remembers when those mercenaries in Port Ormos called you a lunatic.
Sorry, I'm owing somebody.
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. I'll take that as a compliment. Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? It mentioned you have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even I, who has worked in the academia, I think those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered may have, but the academia has always held a different view. They have always believed that symptoms of madness are a side effect of human contact with divine knowledge as mere mortals.
I'm checking my windows. Give me a minute.
Come to think of it, perhaps the academia has also never understood the true nature of forbidden knowledge, and thus always approached the issue from the wrong direction. The Withering, Elazar, and the sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred in the desert thousands of years ago?
That would make sense.
Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused... At least, that's what Tainari told us. Wait a second. Could it be...
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness may precisely be the pollution from forbidden knowledge.
But if that's the case, what should we do? This is huge!
Wait. It's not forbidden because we're not allowed to know what it is. It's forbidden because if a human gets their hands on it, or if human mind touches it, it causes damage to Irminsul. Like, that makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to others.
Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's It's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia forest? That whole the world forget me thing?
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali.
That would make sense.
To save Irminsul, can we completely resolve the problem Sumeru
It's like the mimetic creatures. Oh shit! It's like the mimetic creatures from SCP. Where if blah, blah, blah. My brain didn't want to work there. Where if people, like, the more that people know about them, the stronger they get. It's the inverse for the Irminsul. The more that people know about it, the weaker it gets.
Where are we going?
To an Eremite base.
Oh, fun. The same one we were at. Got it. Like, that would be an interesting twist on that, to be honest. Wait, where am I going? Over there. Hello, good friends. Hello, good friend. Is your name literally found? Fawad.
Ah, they're here.
Huh?
I gave them some technical work.
Ah, it's the scribe. And is that the traveler I see?
How's the work going?
Ah, yes. We have fixed the devices according to your instructions. One of them is already ready for use, while the others are still under repair.
Aren't those devices for can knowledge extraction? What are you doing with those?
Look here.
Huh? More can knowledge? Are you going to put more weird stuff into his head again?
What's that look on your face? Are you scared?
Paimon's a little scared, but very, very
That's an interesting response. Anyway, we're not going to use this just yet. As I mentioned during the meeting, this knowledge capsule contains a decree I drew up in the past. The academia should also have their own copy. And according to the plan we just came up, Traveler, I want you to record something into this capsule. Do you believe we can save Lesser Lord Kusanali? Good. Conviction is the most important part of all of this. Now, please get ready and put on—
You want us to record our conviction into the knowledge capsule?
As long as it's recording a copy of it, that technically shouldn't be an issue.
Yes.
Paimon is still...
I understand. But trust me, Paimon, this is something we have to do. It's best if you can do as I say.
Am I getting spammed with bots?
Because, to achieve this impossible task, it sounds like you'll need to fool your own heart first. Although it may feel like a trick, self-encouragement may be the most important tool we have.
Paimon can see the point you're trying to make.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali. As a result, we have changed Sumeru's entire political landscape. Everything went without a hitch, and everyone recognizes and praises our— Now, open your eyes. Here.
What's this?
Read it out loud. It's done.
Is your head okay? Does anything hurt?
It's just a recording. There should be no negative—
But what was the point of doing this?
And that's perfectly fine. In any case, these capsules aren't meant to be used by you.
Huh?
Have you forgotten? Our plan needs to account for those who have long relied on the Akasha.
Oh.
You may find it hard to believe, but for those people, everything the Akasha transmits to them is nothing short of absolute truth.
That makes sense.
Imagine if you've been using a device like the Akasha since the day you were born, and this device has always supported you after all that time. What do you think you'd become?
A fool?
A slave to orders. And that's why rules are so important. In addition, those who understand the rules can delineate boundaries and identify gray areas.
But why would you need to identify the gray area?
You could say that those kinds of ambiguous zones can be very interesting. What?
Things you're interested in are really out there.
Anyway, that's enough. I'm going to take those two to work on some small projects. You can head to Caravan Rebot and...
Small project.
We're going to tinker with the Akasha terminal and make a few modifications.
Fun! Because that's 3 bots that have been banned. 2 of which by my hand. I didn't see the 3rd one. I keep an eye on everything. No, I don't.
Weather is more enjoyably spent under the cover of shade.
I thought we agreed on a plan. How can you go back on your word?
The plan is too radical and carries a high risk for casualties. I've given it a lot of...
But it's still the best plan we have. As a former Matra, you of all people should be able to see the bigger...
I did. And that's how I saw the danger behind these so-called advantages.
Huh? Why are you guys arguing?
My friend, you're just in time. Why don't you help me persuade some...
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. As mercenaries, you're familiar with the local environment, so you'll take care of the specifics. But then, had I known Al-Haytham would give you those kinds of suggestions...
Look, you already know that we're all on the same side here, don't you?
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship, but also will not hesitate to make sacrifices if they deem the situation to be sufficiently dire.
Seems you really do understand the ways of the desert.
Traveler, Paimon. Rahman's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Rebot guards in my capacity as a Matra. We will arrest the mercenaries and escort them into Sumeru City.
Wait, how can we work with the guards?
We can't get through that wall easily, remember? Caravan Rebot would never let so many unregistered members of the Eremites in. My plan will clear us of any possible suspicion, and also let us enter the city as a big group.
That also sounds like something Al-Haytham...
Doesn't Al-Haytham know how dangerous this plan is?
Of course he does. He told me. There is no perfect plan, but this can get... He also said that with the help of Sino and the Traveler, our chance of success would increase significantly. I never blindly trust anyone, and I've always had a good eye for people. I think he made a number of valid points. It's my own choice to trust you.
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. But I can't guarantee that kind of discipline from the guards. To make the whole thing more convincing, you'll need to resist to some degree. Casualties are inevitable once push comes to shove. I'm okay with the deaths of enemies. But now that we're allies...
That was a major misdirect I was not expecting.
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and I can say that people like you are hard to come by.
I've always treated my allies with honesty and respect. They have the right to know important things like this.
Now you're making this hard for me.
Hey, is there something we can do to help?
I knew you would say that.
We can help fight some of the mercenaries, which should reduce the number of times you'll have to struggle directly with the guards. That should help at least a little bit.
Sino, on behalf of my people, I thank you for your kindness. But this is a mission we cannot turn our backs on. We strongly value the lives of our friends, but the goal we are about to achieve is even more important. We have no fear of casualties, because we crave the spoils of victory. So please, lend us your support. We will show you the determination of us desert dwellers.
Well, now that you've put it that way, I can no longer refuse.
Good.
But remember, you need to follow the plan and not do anything reckless. Candace made it very clear that we can only... Since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation, there should be no more animosity between the followers of the Dendro Archon and those of King Deshret. Everyone's life is equally important.
Okay, you have a deal.
Love it.
The guards should be stationed in the courtyard nearby.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it! It's fabulous, it's well done, I love it! This is the courtyard? This is a really shitty courtyard.
Guards!
General Mahamatra! To what do we owe the honor?
Keep your voice down. This is a secret operation. I'm going to arrest a large criminal gang near this location. According to the Academia's Guide and Regulations...
Ah, of course. Mahamatra Sino's order is the Academia's order. But who exactly are you planning to arrest, and how many people are you expecting? Depending on the scale of this operation.
They're a squad of Eremites whose number is comparable to Ain el Akmar in Port Ormos. They're involved in the theft and resale of supplies from...
As many as Ain el Akmar? This should definitely be...
Then I suggest that you report this to your superiors as soon as possible. And treat it as a top priority desert operation.
Got it. Please wait a moment. I'll contact them immediately.
Because this is work. Because I try...
Paimon can't believe you're still in the chat. This whole thing has Paimon scared stiff.
You're floating, shut up.
Even a little worried. What if these guards already know that you have betrayed the Academia and are no longer their... Even if that guard doesn't know...
We discussed this.
No, I don't.
The Caravan Reebok operation is of great importance. But don't worry. The guards...
How can you be so sure?
First, the other Matra still don't know why Sino has left, which proves that the Academia has been covering up the matter. Second, this is a crucial moment for the Academia's God creation plan. If something were to happen to the General Mahamatra, it's bound to attract a lot of unwanted attention.
This is a gamble.
No matter how you look at it, they don't seem interested in sharing the news of Sino's departure.
A reasonable inference.
Which brings us to our next issue. I'm sure some of you have been wondering if the prediction function of the Akasha will affect our operation.
The Akasha
I forgot about that.
Operation, so I must actually. Considering the power of the Akasha, it's quite strange that it hasn't already tried to interfere.
I've given that a lot of thought. For now, I don't think you'll need to worry. If you remember, when you first came to Aru Village, all your actions and routes were predicted by the Akasha. It even gave that information to those who kidnapped the village keepers, but things like that never happened again after we met up with the Traveler.
That's true. But why?
Look at it from a different angle. Why do you think the Akasha will predict your actions?
Because my personal data has been entered into the...
Oh, that makes sense.
That's true, but the key to this question is, how well can the Akasha make predictions about a person? Haven't you ever thought about it? Just how can it do this in the first place?
Because the Akasha controls the entirety of Sumeru.
The Academia firmly believes that all human actions can be explained through logic. By sorting and analyzing entered data, the Akasha can derive behavioral logic and predict the
And we
actions.
don't have
However,
that.
At the risk of sounding like an advocate for fallacies, can everyone truly be considered logical at all times? Emotions are part of our behavioral logic. But can you guarantee that every experience of the same joy or pain would be equally intense? How can our feelings and opinions be predictable down to the letter in every single instance?
That makes sense.
Sino, in the past, you've always worked alone. In the absence of another person who could sway you or your thoughts, the Akasha could produce predictions that were similar to your real-life behavioral principles. Decisive and principled, you were used to solving problems alone. That's why the Akasha could figure you out. But now, you've joined a team. And I believe the Akasha hasn't yet figured out the full composition of it. Our thoughts and logic have intermingled and weaved themselves together to become a complicated, chaotic mess. Any one of us could potentially disagree with another. The Akasha lacks data on these interactions, and it's impossible for it to predict your actions in the future based on your decisions in the past. After all, there's probably a limit to just how much we can be modeled or controlled by data. So, in my opinion, you're...
Makes sense to me. I agree. The Akasha is not alive, and I don't think we can be completely controlled by something without a mind of its own.
Is that so? I guess there are things that even the Akasha cannot calculate. And people will not be forever trapped by the past.
Interesting way to put that, sir.
I'm so glad that...
Next time, pay attention to...
Will do.
Bold of you to assume there's going to be another one. Hopefully there won't be.
Just remember to...
General Mahamatra, we were not expecting your presence here. I'm the security officer of the Great Red Sand District. My name is Luxembourg.
Your name is interesting.
This is my assistant, the Traveler. He will be working with me. The construct next to him is for his work.
Beep! Construct, beep!
Damn it, Paimon.
What a great honor to meet you. Your golden hair is as bright as the sun. And, is this the latest technology?
Have you made a decision regarding the matter I mentioned to...
It seems to be a dire situation, so of course you will have our full cooperation.
There's no need for flattery. Take your most elite platoon and follow me to the eastern side of...
Understood. Hurry, bring the map.
Map.
In 2 days, we will engage Rahman's Eremites. Any questions about the time?
None at all, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Beep, construct, beep. Damn it, Paimon.
Maybe hanging around the General Mahamatra isn't so bad after all. Everyone's so respectful towards us.
This is all due to the absolute authority of the Academia. And now, we're going to get ready.
I like this. I really do. Like, genuinely speaking, this entire story... I'm gonna stop streaming, by the way, because I'm starting to lose people to sleepiness, I think. Which is fine. It's late at night. I stream late at night, so it's fair. But anyways, I enjoy... I'm gonna babble a little bit, and then I'll call it. But the fact that you have this story about absolute control behind a nation, and this control is just... it's the knowledge that the people have access to. And there's... oh, I forgot. You guys can't hear it, but I can. There's this level of control behind... Okay, so, like, the Academia's biggest mistake, and this is a big mistake for a lot of kingdoms in general, to be honest, is that they're trying to control everything by, well, literally controlling everything. They're, like, trying to control what people get for knowledge, trying to make them complacent and stuff like that. The issue is with how a lot of humans usually work, not so much in Genshin Impact, it seems, but in general, is that there's always something to complain about. There's always something to be against. Night, Jester. And just, like, so they think, like, oh, we'll just nip this at the bud and stuff like that. So they'll try and be a little bit more controlling in some way, shape, or form. The issue is, once they get to a point where they think, oh, I have perfect control over everything, there's nothing that can go wrong, it's literally a case of, like, they've built their defenses too good, so now they can't see all the cracks and stuff in it. I'm reminded of early Yu-Gi-Oh, where Atem fights Panic, and what Panic does is he just hides in darkness, and he builds his team in this little, like... Now, keep in mind that a lot of modern Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh effects nowadays don't translate to old Yu-Gi-Oh at all, period. But basically what had happened was he built a super tanky defensive castle in the sky and then put a barrier around, like, underneath that castle, and put all of his monsters in that one defensive position. And Yugi basically, or Atem, what he did was he basically fired one of his monsters at the castle, damaged the flotation ring, and then that destroyed the shield. That destroyed the ability for the castle in the sky to float. And the only thing keeping it in the sky was a group of magical swords that Yugi had placed. So what ended up happening was that the castle came crashing down, and the Panic's monsters couldn't run because they were trapped in the defensive circle that Panic had made. So that's basically what's kind of happening here. I'm seeing, like, parallels to it. Like, they have the Academy has Sino as marked in their own like the sages have Sino marked as a traitor in their own personal thing, but it's not so much that way for all of the public. So we are using that knowledge that while the Academia know, or the sages know we are he's a traitor, the rest of like the soldiers and stuff don't know, and thus that means that Sino can still use his power as a general in the Matra army, which I think is amazing. Like I love that kind of trope. And a lot can be said for like a lot of what's going on in this story and the counterattack story. I definitely think it's going to go tits up in one way, shape, or form. Somebody's going to get hurt. I don't think somebody's going to die. If anybody's going to die, it's either going to be the Balladeer, and it's probably not going to be an actual death. It's just going to be like a, oh, my body's dead. I go to new body because Nezhnaya makes a new body for me. That's if we fight the Balladeer in this one. I wouldn't put it past them to make it the next country we go to in Fontaine. But based on the information we have, I do believe we will be at least fighting the divine vessel that the Academia has made. The Academia genuinely does piss me off, though. Like, genuinely pisses me off. Like, I can't help but not get angry about them and their bullshit that they do. I genuinely hate how they control things. It does just piss me off. Alright, let me go ahead and highlight Miss Annie because we're going to raid her. Because I raid her on Mondays. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I raid her on Mondays? I'm just going to go ahead and close out my YouTube window so I can just do this. Oh, yeah, Jade did ban the other dude. Thankfully, it seems like the auto mod held the bot for what's the word? Held the bot for review. Okay, raid is starting. It's only gonna be